Hey, what's up guys? I'm on site at this lodge and resort in Tennessee. We're just right by the Smoky Mountain National Park and wanted to show you guys the property itself, walk through some of the rooms, talk about the strategy and how we're going to take this from an underperforming hospitality asset into a shining property that people and families want to come stay at on their trip to the Smokies. So let's go check it out. So this property consists of 8 buildings of rentable units for the guests, as well as like a pavilion event center that we're going to turn into the game room for the property. So ping pong tables, pool tables, arcade games, beanbag chairs, stuff like that to really make it shine and pop for the kids and the families that come stay here. It's going to be right by the outdoor pool. And then on top of that, we've got a event and wedding venue as well. 2 stories, vaulted cedar ceilings, really nice commercial kitchen downstairs, another kitchen upstairs, and just overlooking the mountains with wraparound decks. So it's going to be awesome for people coming to do destination weddings in the Smokies and corporate events. And those 2 revenue streams, the hotel and the venue, are really going to be symbiotic and help each other, right? Because when people book the venue, they'll also stay in the rooms, and then when people stay in the rooms, they'll become aware of the venue and then book that for the next event, or maybe stay here and then want to come do their wedding here because they fall in love with the property. So that's the idea, is to bring back the things that aren't currently being used on this site, really drive home this full service amenity package that we have the potential on. 10 acres with all these different buildings overlooking the Smokies and so close to the national park. So one of the things that we really like about this property is it's got these walking trails through here, but it also has like these outdated sitting areas with these grills that are all scorched. They're probably 30, 40 years old, and these concrete stones that were chiseled by like Zeus and Poseidon 4,000 years ago. So we're gonna get rid of those and do new sitting areas. But this pathway goes through this whole 10 acres from the outdoor pool all the way back to the check-in desk and the venue on the other side of the property. So it's all linked together nicely. It's just a little bit overgrown. It needs touched up on the landscaping. And then on the amenities, on the exterior amenities that brings this space together, it's got a burn pile instead of a fire pit. So we're going to obviously clear all this out and put like a stone walkway or a stone ground and build up a fire pit that's going to look much better. Built-in stone seating with Adirondack chairs all around it. So this whole space right here is going to be something that is like, boom, we're staying at this property. And say this property because we don't know what we're going to name it yet. I'll show you the signage, but it's got a bad reputation in the area with the reviews and everything, so we need to rebrand it. This is going to be part of that. So this will be our big outdoor space where they put pickleball courts and or maybe at least 1 court, and then putt over in this open grassy area. It's got this outdoor movie theater projector screen, the electrical to have the projector, but it just looks junky. It's peeling off, it's not being used. All the decking of the stage is run down. So we're gonna put new decking boards on there. We're gonna put skirting around it, new projector screen, and then we'll have benches out here. So we'll have movies in the parks, we can have karaoke nights, we can have local bands come in when we have packed weekends during the summers, or during Fall Fest when all the leaves on the mountains are changing and a ton of people flood the area. Like, these are the kinds of things that families and people who come to stay at places, they want amenities like that. So we have all the room to do it on site, but it's not being used. So we're gonna bring that. Up here we've got the gazebo, which is already there, but it just, again, it's weathered, worn. So we're going to replace the decking boards on the bottom that need it, and then repaint it and put a new roof on it and just trim everything up around it, right? Part of the landscaping package. And that'll be a place where the bridal party or the couple that gets married at the venue, they'll go around the grounds and do their pictures. We'll take them around on the golf carts on the property. Like, that'll be one of those picture pieces. Like out here on the courts, like overlooking the mountains behind us, that'll be the picture piece. We've got the playground, we've got this middle building, which I think is going, we'll probably get a little bit closer to it. I think that's going to be the shop of the property. We've got a bike path that goes all the way through Townsend here, and it goes all the way to the national park. So it's a couple miles long, and every morning that we've been here, people have been walking their dogs, they've been running, they've been biking. So this is, an amenity of the area. So I think bike rentals is something that we can do in our shop right here. That'll also be the place where people can go in and get drinks and extra sunscreen or tubes for the river, because the river flows right through Townsend. So that'll be kind of the gift shop and the storefront that we have on the property here to bring that resort feel in. This is one of our really good amenities, as you can see, ready for people to come dive in and take a swim in the Townsend Pond out here. So this is a space that obviously needs some work, right? You're gonna clean out these pools, resurface them, and get this back up and running. It actually started as 2 different hotels. So it was like this building with this hotel, with this pool, and there was a big Grand Lodge that actually burnt down. So that was kind of the separating factor. And then everything over there was the other one. And so at some point in the past, the owner, 2 owners ago, bought the whole property together, or both properties, and combined them. So now it flows together. With the walking paths, we'll kind of link it with the amenities. Probably take this railing off over here and create like a 10 by 20 or 10 by 30 deck covered patio. Out here we'll have the outdoor shower, like some cabanas, covered seating, maybe some ceiling fans. So that kind of breaks up this just concrete space, right, and adds the amenity and feel to it. Because over at the other pool, which we'll see, we're going to add an outdoor bar to really upgrade that space. And the decking and covered seating area isn't going to be too expensive here. I think will really create a better space. And this is one of our buildings that we can go check out inside. Come on. So this is one of the 8 buildings on site, and this is probably representative of the overall condition. Like they've got these big wood beds and a lot of like natural wooden furniture that might stay. I think like bed frames like these for sure can stay in the property, but what we're gonna do is come in here, a fresh coat of paint, because with the wood and this like beige color and no window on the back, it really kind of darkens the room and makes it feel smaller. So we'll come in and repaint, do new flooring, and brighten the space back up. And then all of the end tables and the accent chairs and the dressers, they're outdated, they're all scratched up. We can probably leave these beds and then design around that, and actually leave the beds themselves, because the beds are newer, probably in the last year. Sheets are new, so we can keep that. And like this setup right here is probably $800 to $1,000. So we can save $1,600 to $2,000 on a design package by keeping what's here and designing around it. And then back here in the back, what we do is get like a built-in for this, and probably move the fridge, microwave, coffee into this area. Probably have the fridge built in with a cabinet, and then have counter space underneath, another carve out for the microwave, and then the coffee stand on top. And then you've also got like an area over here where you can create that, horizontal space as well, with built-ins like you'd see in, most newer, more modern hotel rooms. And then we'll have this space to put in a new vanity. We've got space here, and we, depending on the cost, might do a wider double vanity, a new large mirror with the light fixtures. And in the bathroom in here, you've got the stand-up tub shower combo and the toilet. So, in here we'll probably keep this, but new shower head, a new shower curtain, new towel holders and fixtures, and just modernize, paint the trim white. It's this older wood color, and it's cracked a little bit. So what you have in here is a cosmetic upgrade. It's not a large gut renovation like we've done on the past hotels. It's much more in line with modernizing, and what we're trying to do is go with a modern mountain theme. So think like dark color palettes of dark blues and dark greens, dark yellows, with accents of leather, light, neutral walls. And probably on this back wall of the bed is where we'll probably go with like a textured wall, either like planks, wood planks, or we might do like a board and batten look, or even one bys that create angles to make like mountains. And then we'll paint this like a dark, bold color to be like the anchor piece of each room, and then go light neutrals on the wall, and carpet, then new decor in here to bring these things together. So I'm hoping somewhere in the range of around like 10,000-ish of the CapEx and the FFE, or furniture, fixtures, and equipment, which is essentially design and decor, about that much per unit to get them up to date. So extrapolate that over 130 units. somewhere in the $1 to $2 million range is what we're budgeting right now. $1 million for capex and $1 million for the design and furnishing, including these, the outdoor pool areas that we've got to get new furniture and stuff like that for to bring these spaces together. So that's inside the unit. All right, Nicole, who's behind the camera right now, my design expert, tells me that we're not going to have the big wood bed frames with the texture wall behind that. So she put me in my place there. So I'm learning design as I go. This is that middle building that we're still trying to figure out what to do. We kind of envision as the rental shop and the shopette for the property. Maybe have some staff in here that are maybe cooking sandwiches and pizzas, and you have the rentals, the e-bikes for the bike path that's right here. So this will need a full renovation, but it also has its own driveway and parking lot off of the main road. So people could come in here that aren't just staying at the property, and again, be one of those revenue streams that also builds demand for the hotel itself. So people come in here, they rent bikes, they buy our stuff because there's not a lot in this smaller town, but it also sees 3 million people a year drive through here to go to the national park. So you can have those things that draw people in, the foot traffic, and then creates demand for the hotel, and also another revenue stream. I think it'd be a really good way for us to use the space. And upstairs we've got a 3-bed, 2-bath living quarters that will probably just become, fully renovated and become another Airbnb unit for the property. One of the really cool features of this property, and no other property in the area has this, is this indoor pool area. It's got a hot tub and heated pool, and at the end, it's a water feature that cascades down into the pool. So every night when you've been here, there's a family, there's the kids running around. This is an amenity that people really like and that they obviously use. So this is one that we can differentiate ourselves in our marketing, upgraded design and decor, because like the brown chair is kind of blended with the brown rock, and it's just not really friendly, but it's a great amenity. This whole patio space out here, it's like probably a 15 by 30 patio that's not used at all. So that's something that we'll add to our exterior amenities and have that flow of inside-outside space. And when it's cold and at nighttime, when people want to be protected from the elements, this is where they'll come. And then off the pool, we have these suites. So let's check these out. So there's not overhead lighting, so probably for it being dark, but you walk in to the living room here and you can tell it's just pretty bare, like it needs some love. So we've got the pull-up couch. These we're going to keep, and this will probably be about the only piece in here that we keep. So new desk, new tables, lamps. It has the switch for the overhead lighting, so we might put a new fixture up there as well if we can fit that in the bid. And make it more welcoming when you first walk in. We have this area that is just not very well used. So you've got the fridge inside the closet, this like second vanity area. So this is going to be redesigned, new stuff in here as well. The bathroom itself has a new vanity, a nice new tub shower insert. So we'll probably just do new light fixtures and new mirrors that don't have the corrosion and rust around them, because it's a humid climate. Probably shouldn't have used the cheap chrome. And then in here, another big king bed where you put, probably keep the bed. That's a good frame. Maybe use some of the wood putty to touch some stuff up and resand some of that, but keep it so we're not spending another $800 or $1,000 on the bed. The new things around it, there's no decor, no design in here, so do that and do a new bold statement color on the back wall, and then new, gonna do a new sliding door for sure. And then if I can get this open, show you the back patios. Well, I can't get it open, so we got back patios that are not being used really at all and not inviting, so upgrade these spaces. So these are the suites off this indoor pool area. All right, so this is the kind of the middle of the property, and we've got that space that I was talking about turning in to the amenity room, the game room, where the kids are gonna play. We'll have like an Xbox in there, and foosball, and ping pong, and all that kind of stuff. And it's big enough, we also might partition it off and put the fitness center in there, where we've got some space off the office as well. We're trying to hit all the amenities that people want when they travel, both business and leisure, because a lot of people that come to the park, and there's enough that will please people here for other reasons as well. Like a fitness center, I'm a guy that when I travel, I pack gym clothes with me and want to work out. So I've been running on the a bike path every morning, but don't have a place to work out, so I just feel myself withering away and getting skinny and don't want the guests to go through that same thing. And then this is the part of the property that I really love. So in between these three or four big oak shells here, it's like a statement piece and really anchors and unifies this whole property. And think like four big wood pillars, wood beams, covered area. It's going to look out this way and you're going to see over this, the Smoky Mountains, to the ridge line. And every morning I'm coming out here watching the sunrise, the haze in the mountains is so beautiful. So this is where we put that thing, not the outdoor seat, not an outdoor, built-in grill and ceiling fans and lights. And this will be the piece that when you see, and when guests see on the booking channel, I gotta say this property. So that's your view from right here. So kind of angle it this way, covered by these massive grand oak trees. That's that view. So I think it'll be good. Then over here, we're gonna match this same pavilion look with the wood beams, the covered aspect of it in the roof by the pool, and just make it smaller. We're gonna have an outdoor bar, so covered in. Probably have a bartender on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. There's a high season, fully booked. We've got events going on. Hang out by the pool, get some fruity rum jig and hang out. And those two pieces will be those modern touches and those amenity packages that draw people in, and really turn this back into a true lodge and resort. And this is where we're going to put that bar in and take out essentially this section of around 15 feet, probably come back 8 or 10 feet. You have your covered bar, the ball here, you got all your feeders, people can come up, you have the line. You got the water feature coming down into the pool, so it creates the sound of the water, the tip of the drink, you got the mountain views. What's better? Why would you stay anywhere else? That's what we're trying to create. Now we're making our way to buildings 1 and 2 in the venue. Building 1 has the front office here. You check in, get your stuff, and come up off the main road. When you pull in, you see the front office here. That's where you check in. So we'll have front desk staff, we'll have a general manager, probably have assistant property managers as well. Really build out a more robust team. And probably a sales person who answers the phone, does group bookings, does room sales. So I have a staff of about 5 or 6 on this property, in addition to the cleaning staff. So it might be 10, 11, 12 total staff members in order to run this property. Because remember, it is 10 acres, it's 130 rooms, over 8 different buildings. So it's going to take a team to run this, and that's where we essentially run that out of. We've got the 2 office spaces as well as the large front desk and check-in area, and this is where the breakfast will be as well. So it's got a fully renovated breakfast area. It just hasn't been used. It's kind of a storage and staging area for the deliveries and whatever else comes here. So again, it's one of those things that is advertised, but it's not here for guests, and that leads into bad reviews. So just the operations, right? It's those pieces that we're going to improve upon, really just optimize how this place is ran in order to fulfill our guests and turn around the brand and the name of this hotel for them to fulfill our guests. And then you have our venue right here, so 2 stories, wraparound porches. Check this out right here. So wrap around on all sides. You got these big windows. Let's see if we can get in here, but I think it's locked. The top is big vaulted ceilings and a ton of space. So you host weddings or events of 150 people in here per floor. So a great area that's going to drive the demand and already have a connection of a wedding event manager and catering manager to take over this place. So they are going to be inside the OpCo essentially, but really run that side of the business, because I'm not going to be able to handle that on top of the hotel operations. Allow me to focus on what I know and what I'm good at, and let them to do the same, but it'll all be under that same umbrella. And then hopefully the plan is that we can create a system with this hotel, really drive the revenue, create value with this little sub business within the business, and then go replicate that on future properties. So there's that backside of the venue, and this is where I kind of imagine the bride getting dropped off with her dad, walking up here, and we go through these double doors, and the arch ceilings, and it's locked so we can't get in there. It's Sunday, so the on-site manager's not here. See if we can see through to kind of visualize the space. Big open room, kitchen on the left, fireplace at the end, vaulted ceilings and chandeliers, wraparound decks. I mean, you can't beat it. In the south, where the weather's nice with the mountain views, having a drink, going to the wedding, I think it's gonna crush. All right, so we got our last row of buildings here. This is technically building 1 and 2, and then down to 3, where we have our suites. So all upstairs is king beds, or 2 king beds, or 2 bedrooms with full living rooms. Some have fireplace, some have jacuzzis. And we have this cabin back here as well, which is a 2-bed, 1-bath rental. So it's pretty, the wood has kind of melted off in the Tennessee sun. So we'll restain that outdoor wood and the deck, upgrade the kitchen and the baths, refurnish it, and that will kind of be like the premium unit, which we'll put on Airbnb as well, where the rest are going to be operated more as hotel rooms. We'll have some Airbnb listings, but with our PMS, create 1 listing for each kind of unit type that gets pushed out to Airbnb or Vrbo or whatever, and then has all the availability of all the units of that type cooked behind it. So we can get 10 bookings on that 1 unit, so we'll have all the availability and run it much more like a hotel because it's a bigger property, right? We can't have 130 different listings out there just metabolizing each other, and one's getting a lot of views, others aren't, because each unit's going to be capped at a certain potential based on the market. So we have to run each room and really the property as a whole as 1 lodge and 1 resort, and then you can book the different unit types, and that's how we're going to run this place and generate the revenue. All right, so that's the property, from the venue to the 8 buildings to the rooms, the amenity plan. And I think one of the important things is when you are doing a walkthrough of a property like this, or really it could be a smaller boutique hotel. We did very similar things on the 8 and the 15 and the 20 unit renovations that we did, is you want to build out your plan and your vision for the property based on the appeal to that area, right? So I'm not going to go bright pink, Vegas or Palm Springs or like a Miami theme here, right? I've got to play into the mountains and the natural appeal of the Smokies and that demographic, right? That's why we're playing in this mountain, or this modern mountain theme with these darker colors, but refreshing everything and then adding the exterior amenities that are going to stand out to our guests and to that ideal demographic. So people want to come to the Smokies to be outside, to be active. Most of the people that travel here are families or active couples that are going to hike and bike and go to the park and do all this stuff. So we want to add activities and recreation themes on the property, from the pickleball courts to the putt-putt to the pavilion and the outdoor bar, and really link everything that's already existing on the property and all the potential, and then just renovate, to really drive home this refreshed inside, just maximized outside. And then you've got this flow of indoor-outdoor living all under this great, this great brand and one kind of linking or aligning theme of the property. So when you're meeting with your contractors, right, you've got to share that vision with them and break all this down by line item. And the same with your designers, right? You've got to have an idea of what you're going to keep in the rooms, because when I had talks with my designers last week before we got more in depth, it was, all right, I'm not to get a more accurate bid. I'm actually going to need to know based on the building or the unit type what's staying and what's going and what we need to put around that. So these are all the things that you need to be aware of and really get detailed and be able to share that vision, and then work with those people that can bring it all to fruition. All right, so that's the lodge, guys. I hope this was informative for you. If you like the property, let me know what you think in the comments. If you got many ideas that I missed, put them below, because we've got the space and the budget to add them here. And before you guys go, hit that like and subscribe. I want to keep you guys up to date with this project, the other hotels that we're doing and I've sold, and learning lessons there, and just all the short-term rental tips I have to give. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Nicole's behind the camera. Do I cut it? We take off the railing over here. Jeez, I'm tripping. Okay, should probably just walk with me.
I was already recording.